That's beautiful. Wasn't that beautiful? Wow. I've never heard that many times in my life, and it's every time I have, I've always appreciated it so much. Oh, what a message. Oh, what a message. And the music is so beautiful with the truth.
With your smiles, I would like to remind you, rejoicingly and yet seriously, the Bible says, blessed is the man that has his quiver full. I think David thinks his quiver is full, but I would to God that we could catch some of the seriousness and the beauty of this in my heart tonight. If what's in your hearts and mine, I think you'll rejoice in the Lord with me. I'd like to read briefly from Matthew, the 18th chapter, and call your attention to this and to the congregation. At the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying, Who is greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them. And I really feel this is coming to pass right now. Set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whosoever shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones, which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. God's done something to my heart, I hope it's quite a bit, in recent weeks concerning children. The seriousness of relating to children. And there's a tendency in all of our hearts for us to relate more lightly and more casually and treat with dignity adults more than children. But I hope after tonight that this will not be true of any of us. Because the Bible says it's better that a millstone be hanged about our neck, that we be cast in the depths of the sea, than to offend one of these, especially spiritually offend them. Now, notice the next words of Jesus. Sometimes the scriptures are really intriguing how they're put together. Woe unto the world because of offenses. Now, you see, the trend of the thought is still there in the words of Jesus. For it must needs be that offenses come, but woe to that man by whom the offense cometh. Wherefore, if thy hand or thy foot offend thee, cut them off and cast them from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life halt or maimed, or rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet be cast into everlasting fire. And if thine eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. It is better for thee to enter into life with 1 eye, rather than having 2 eyes to be cast into hell fire. Now, this 10th verse, please especially note. Take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones, for I say unto you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven.
Yes.
That's been on my wife and I and our hearts the last few days, because Jesus said, for in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father. Now that really strikes me. I'd thought of it, but I don't believe it ever. How that their angels always behold the face of my Father. So these little ones have angels in heaven always beholding the face of the Father. Now that means that there's a very sacred relationship between their angels and them down here in our relationship to them. Anything on your heart?
I think it would be good to review at this time that there are two characteristics of children that we should try to maintain. One of them is that children are pretty well naturally teachable. And I work with children all the time, and this is very evident that the older children get, the harder they are to teach. And it is with great fervor that you should endeavor to teach your children while they are young and have that teachable attitude. And that you should also try to maintain the natural humility that is found in children. It is a wonderful thing when you can look down on your little child and know that they are humble because God made them that way. And so these are two things that you should try to maintain in all of your instruction and all of your righteousness.
I'm so thankful God's blessed you with 5 men of God. And I was thinking, as Roger sang tonight, that through it all there'll be many tears and sorrows. There'll be many questions about tomorrow. But the important thing to remember is that you're not alone, that God is helping you in all your endeavors. And as you come to dedicate Joel David to God, it's a wonderful thing to know that God knows how to care for His own. As I thought of your 5 sons, I thought of the 5 virgins. 5 were foolish, but 5 were wise. And 5 were prepared to meet the bridegroom. So my desire is that God may help you to so train, to so nurture, to so love your 5 sons, that they'll be prepared to meet Jesus when He comes.
Most generally, Clarence, I don't think it pays to recall certain sadnesses of the past, but when we have greater joys, I believe it's all right. You remember that great day of tragedy when you lost your 2 sons in the fire? You tried to get them, but you were unable. But we prayed together with you, and God gave you 2 more sons. Isn't that right? And now then, you have a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, I have 5 more. That's so good.
So in the light of that memory that our God is a God who answers prayer. You see, the story's not all told on Saturday night. But it takes time for God to prove Himself. Shall the congregation stand as we bow our heads in prayer? Brother Helm, if you would, we'd be gracious if you'd come and lead us in this prayer for Joel David.
Yes, thank you. Did you want this prayer to include the dictatorial expression?
Please.